Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Monica Jain. I work with Psychelab. It's an holistic and wellness being. So my today's talk is all about void today. Void is something which we call the space we are afraid to face. Okay, there is always inside you where somewhere you feel afraid of facing your own self. Okay, that is known as void. And trust me, this is connected to everyone, every human on this earth. Okay, so I'll just teach you or just give you an information how void works. Okay, so let us start. So today I want to speak about something which is rarely talked about openly. It is not being talked about openly. There are many reasons behind it. You will come to know later on in this session. Okay, so the void, the empty space within us. Okay, so the feeling that something is missing even when everything seems to be present. So everything is present in your life, and yet you're feeling the senses of something is missing in your life, and sometimes it is very strong. Okay, and I'll just tell you why this happens to you. You may have a family, a career, a relationship, success stories, and a life that looks completely from successful from outside, and yet somewhere within you may still feel disconnected, numbness, restlessness, or emptiness. आप अंदर से empty feel करते, you feel empty from inside, you feel numbness from inside, you are not able to connect, you are not able to lead your life which you are meant to live or which you want to live, but you are successful in life. Materialistically you have everything in your life, but when it comes to satisfaction, there is nowhere there. And how it affects your day-to-day life, I will also give you so the void is often misunderstood. Why it is misunderstood, I'll just teach you. Okay, so we immediately try to fill it. So what we feel, the internal emptiness what we feel inside us, we try to fill that emptiness through other things. We attempt other things. And what are those other things which we attempt materialistically to just fulfill our internal space which is incomplete according to us? Okay, so we immediately go with relationships, with work, with achievements, with constant entertainment, with attention, with spirituality, with anything that helps us to avoid sitting alone with ourselves. When you're not able to sit with yourself alone peacefully, then you have something inside you which is making you disturbed, and now you're distracting yourself with so many things. Okay, but what if the void has not asking to be filled? So what if the pressure on you is not there to fulfill that empty space inside you? How will your life look like? Just think and just I will be glad to know if somebody has tried this life without void. Okay, so yeah, what if it is asked to be felt? Okay, from a psychotherapeutic perspective, it is a perspective of psychotherapeutic approaches, the void may be result of unprocessed emotions, unresolved grief, trauma, rejection, emotional neglects, or parts of ourselves that we have abandoned in order to survive. So when it comes to the survival mode of an human tendency, human always go for something which survives the person from his mind. So when he does all these things, he creates all the traumas, negligence, and all those things which comes in your life, thoughts, feelings, and emotions of yours. Okay, so sometimes we become so busy becoming what others expect us to be that we lose connection with who we truly are. So just because of the survival, what we need to survive ourselves in that specific situation, what we do is we lose our authentic self of like. So we forget the sense of self, that who we are, and we try to be something which we are not there just to satisfy the other person. And this happens every time, because when you need to survive on this earth, you always see how other person is comfortable around you. So this create an gap between your self identity, where you don't know who you truly are. If you know who you truly are, you don't need to butter the things up. Okay, so one day you stop and ask yourself, why do I have everything but still feel empty? Because after being faking your own identity for a very longer period of time, what you do is you create a fake identity on your mind. Now that identity will disturb you every time, because that is not your authentic identity. This is what is something which is known as created identity, and created thing doesn't work for a longer period of time, because you take from someone else and when you keep it inside you, you can't keep something which is not yours. No foreign energies can enter your space. That is the rule of your universal law of your body. Okay, so once you take something which is externally inside, learning is a different thing, but making your identity towards those things, that is again a void. Okay, so a therapy does not always begin to try to remove the emptiness. Sometimes therapy begins by creating a safe space to sit with it, to ask yourself. That is what I say. Therapy is a great tool to know yourself. Don't run away from therapy. For God's sake, please take a new approach towards life. How therapy help? I'll just explain you in short. Okay, ask yourself, what is this specific emptiness trying to tell you? Okay, when you are not able to take stand for your own identity in the specific space, ask yourself what is not stopping you to do so. Okay, and the second thing is, which part of me has been ignored? When you feel ignored, which part of you has already been ignored, and now you're reflecting those specific thing with other person. Okay, what have I been suppressing myself, and what am I trying to longing for? So what I'm trying to say is, you attract people, okay, specific people in your life, where they are connecting with your void. Okay, when your void is empty, when you don't know who you truly are, you attract people. If you're feeling rejection, you'll attract people who rejects you. If you're feeling unloved, you'll attract people who doesn't love you. So these things are very important to address in yourself and be complete in yourself. Once if you're not looking for something which fulfills your void, you will not attract such kind of people where you don't need to entertain them for a longer period of time, or even attract in those people in your frequency or in your auric frame. Okay, when your aura is clean, you will always attract someone who matches your frequency. So always try to raise your frequency. Don't try to deteriorate your frequency. Okay, and frequency by working on your void. Okay, so because behind the void there may be grief, behind the numbness there may be pain, behind the loneliness there may be deep desire to be seen, not by the entire world but by oneself. Okay, and from the spiritual perspective, the void can become something deeper. It can become a space for transformation, a space between the person we once were and the person we are becoming now. So what you call a spiritual awakening, where what you were before, which was being learned from your circumstances or many things, okay, social, moral and everything, and want something which is your soul identity of yours. Okay, get in tuned or aligned with that specific process which is known as spiritual alignment. Okay, when your awakening happens, when you come to know what you authentically need in your life, rather than convincing or addressing other people's needs and desires in your life. Okay, a space where the old identity is dissolving, but the new identity has not yet fully emerged. Now slowly you'll start losing the old identity which is not yours, which has been learned, and now you will create your new identity which will have your own space. But it takes time, because now you're still knowing yourself. Then you will evolve in that specific space. Okay, now this space can feel frightening, but not every empty space is a loss. Okay, when you feel like I'm losing myself, when you go through awakening, you go through many things in life. So when you're feeling that low feeling in your life, just pause yourself and just think that how you're growing in your life. Later on you'll come to know, once you come out with this emptiness of your life. Okay, sometimes emptiness is also a space for awareness, space for truth, space for transformation, space for something new to be born. But we must remember, spirituality should never become a way to escape psychological pain. So don't make your pain to be escaped by giving yourself certain reasons. There is no reasons. The only pain you need to address is the pain you're going through, and address it. Okay, don't run away from it. Don't give any reason to yourself. There is no reason. Okay, so just saying that I'm a spiritually evolved person or does not mean we no longer have wounds. No, everybody have wounds. That is the reason we are humans and we are in this matrix of earth. Okay, that is the reason we are here, because we have the internal or external or ongoing wounds. Okay, so we have to address those wounds. So the second thing is, real healing is not about denying the pain. It is about understanding it, feeling it, integrating it, and gradually becoming more whole. Understand what you're going through, just address it, integrate it, feel it, and release it. Okay, it is the easiest and the most simplest form, and it will help you in a long run if you're doing it. Okay, so the next is psychotherapeutic approach. Now helps us to understand the mind, emotion patterns, wounds, and unconscious pattern. So these are the void is always been stored in an unconscious pattern, which always comes in an. So your unconscious pattern comes in unconscious mind, and then boom, something happens in your life. Okay, sorry for my language, but that's the reality. Okay, so spiritual awareness invites us to explore presence, meaning, consciousness, acceptance, and our deeper connection with life. Being aware, being mindful, being present, these are very big words, but the reality is all these things are day-to-day life process. Okay, these two perspective comes together. Healing becomes more than simply fixing with what is broken. So now you're not just fixing the things, you're also evolving and growing with yourself. Okay, that is what is known as healing. Healing is not just about coming out of something. Healing is about growing with the specific thing and integrating and getting whole with that specific thing. For example, if you're going through a rejection, heal the rejection, integrate that part in you, raise your frequency so you don't attract the similar kind of frequency and you feel whole inside you. Okay, that is known as healing. Healing is not something where you escape the situation just by giving reason and then you say, oh my god, I'm healed. No, you're not healed. You later on attract the similar thing with other person. Okay, so the next is because perhaps we were never truly broken, perhaps we were disconnected. Disconnection from our emotions, disconnect from our body, disconnect from our authentic self, disconnect from the meaning of our own existence. And perhaps the void is not the end of our journey. Perhaps it is an invitation to stop running, to stop constantly seeking something outside ourselves, to turn inwards. Not to remain trapped in any pain, but to understand what the pain is revealing to you. Okay, so in any situation, just observe, feel the pain, what you're feeling. Don't run away. Address that pain. Whatever feeling you're feeling, address the thought, address the feeling, address the emotion. It is not a big thing to do. Okay, it is just give an attempt towards that specific thing. When you turn inwards, it is not to remain trapped in our own pain, but to understand what the pain is revealing. So the next time we experience emptiness, do not immediately ask what I can do to fill the void. Ask instead, what is this void trying to reveal? What is this void trying to reveal to you? Okay, why this specific thing has been surfaced now in your life? There must be some learning which you're not learning. Okay, because sometimes the space we fear the most becomes the space where we finally meet ourselves. And sometimes the void is not empty at all. It is filled with everything we have. So the space we fear the most becomes the space we finally meet ourselves. And sometimes the void is not empty at all. It is filled with everything we have not yet had the courage to feel, understand, integrate, and transform. See, every situation comes in your life to make you understand, to make you integrate the suppressed part of yours, and then to make you whole. No thing is useless or baseless in your life. Every situation happens for certain reason, whether it's small or big. You learn from those situations. You attract those things because it is an internal empty space inside you which has been integrated through your emotion, thoughts, and feelings. Once it comes in your right in front of you with any situation, just observe, feel, integrate, and release it. Once you be complete with that specific situation or specific event, you will be out of that matrix and you will enter into a new portal of life which will. Once you raise the higher frequency, you will tap into something which is known as things which are similar to your own frequency. Okay, see, all these things is applicable for your everyday life. Address for God. Don't make your internal void deal with your day-to-day life. It is not a good thing where you just give yourself a reason, something to run away from your situation. See, my video is a little bit way big, I know that, but trust me, if you're hearing it carefully, you will get a big therapy just by hearing that and practicing those exercises which I have told you. If you're not able to understand, comment me in comment section. I will give you the details. You can also book in therapy sessions with me, and there are many things which will help you with. So I'm Dr. Monica Jain. I work with Psychelab. It's a holistic and wellness being. I'll see you soon. If you're going through any internal void which you genuinely want to address for yourself and stop attracting the similar patterns and situations in life, create new identity of yours, your raw identity, not again recreating the similar different kind of new identity. It's your raw identity, okay? To connect to us, we are here to help you, and this how you attract people in your life, okay? Please be serious if you are willing to work on yourself. So you will come to know what actually I am speaking about. If you are not able to understand something, drop me in a comment section what you are not able to understand. I'll answer you in that, okay? So see you soon. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. God bless you.